Yeah, so my favorite thing about working with Sean, there's a few, but I love that I have access to a PT who understands jiu-jitsu, who understands my sport. Sean has a ton of experience, ton of credibility with in terms of strength training, who's obviously very strong himself, but also like tons of knowledge, very well educated, well read on the subject of strength training. I know he trains jiu-jitsu regularly, so he understands the movements that we're getting into as jiu-jitsu athletes. So like for me, if I come in and I say, oh, my back is hurting when I invert, he's not going to look at me like I'm crazy like a normal PT would. He would, he understands, one, that I have to invert as part of the sport, and two, he understands what that is or why I might end up there. And so we can work together not only to talk about like strength training approaches, but how I can move better during jiu-jitsu. So it's really helpful to have access to a PT and a strength coach who understands my sport and is not just a general coach. So I had a back injury, and so I hurt my back in the work with Sean to kind of restructure my strength training and to make it kind of more optimized based on my body and my injuries and my sport. I injured my back in June, training jiu-jitsu, and I was up in the middle of preparing for the biggest jiu-jitsu tournament of my life, ADCC at the time, and I couldn't train like at all, much less like strength train for that event. And I also didn't know how I was going to strength train because at the time, all of the ways that I knew how to strength train involved putting a ton of stress on the low back. So Sean helped me have work around the injury and still reach my goals on the mat while not aggravating my injury. And we've worked together, I think, 3 or 4 times now, specifically on the low back. And he's kind of just helping with continued guidance and everything from like form to programming to kind of like a general assessment of my injuries. And we've done a lot of work together to make sure that I am performing at my best and on the mat and in the weight room while not compromising my health.